building decks the hard way. Have fun with Hardleg. It's time to play some Yugioh. It's the damn build challenge. Hello, and welcome back, you flamin' hot habaneros, to the Deck Build Challenge, where each episode, two combatants face off with strange theme decks. I am your host, Hardleg Joe. Joining me today, two returning co-hosts. In the brown square, we have DasChillyOne.
Oh, why is it brown?
Just be lucky it's a square, alright?
All these squares make a circle.
And over in the chartreuse octagon, we have his opponent, Wyncrer.
What on earth is a chartreuse? I have no idea what word that is.
I'm
glad I'm not in the square. Put it that way.
Have you ever seen Ojama Lime?
I wish I hadn't.
That's what color he is. He's chartreuse. He's not
That's
actually
disgusting.
lime. It's like sort
That's
of this
disgusting.
off lime color. And
That's
yes,
the
today we're here to do nothing that has anything to do with Ojama Lime. Instead, we are doing a Patreon request from store brand Simon Belmont, who wanted to see two of his favorite decks from, I believe, Duel Links. It's either Duel Links or, what was the thing that came out before Duel Links that had these cards in it?
Duel Terminal?
Duel Terminal. I don't remember exactly, but I think it's Duel Links. He wanted to see two of the... They were in both, but it's Flamvell versus the other one. What was it again?
Laval.
I can never remember Laval. It's so weird. But yeah, we're doing the two fire archetypes that were originally from Duel Terminal, facing off against each other. We're not on Master Duel because we haven't gotten enough cards yet that we can build on a fly whatever decks that the DBCs require. Maybe someday.
This show does not make enough money for that to be an option.
Not yet. We'll see. I don't know. I'm curious to see how it will progress. Like, in a year from now, will I have opened so many packs that I just have all the cards? Will every normal be available to me?
That would be the dream. Make
Yeah.
it nice and easy.
Yeah.
I've been keeping track of how much I have been spending on it, so it'll be curious to see how much it takes before I reach that point.
Big old goose egg for me.
Yep. Did you guys already pick rock, paper, scissors and everything?
I either haven't been giving a prompt or already did. I'm not going to lie, I haven't paid that much attention. But it doesn't have it on the screen, so...
I'm still on the host screen, so I haven't
Oh.
entered the dual screen yet.
Well then, I guess that's one thing you don't have to deal with Master Duel. It doesn't bug as much. Okay, 1 second. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. We're back, and somehow in the intervening time, Highlander got brought up, which is one of my favorite things to talk about because it's such an interesting franchise. Y'all ready for some Highlander lore? Ready to land some things on high?
Hit
The
me.
only Highlander I know is Orbital Hydrolander.
It's not quite the same.
I...
Shard of Greed.
Very little.
I need it, alright? Leave me alone.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, because I'm not allowed to play any Flamvells, I can't play the best Laval card, which is on the field right now. It's
Which is
Flamvell
Flamvell Fire Dog.
Flamvell Fire Dog, yeah.
Yeah, if you missed the last episode, we tried to do Plunder versus Tri-Brigade, and it was like, they wanted us to go more meta, more competitive, and so we ended up doing it, and then didn't play a whole lot of Laval or Tri-Brigade cards. And so instead we're doing the opposite. You guys are limited almost exclusively to just your archetype. And I think I told you, like, support that's similar. I'm like, if you have a spell trap, it better say fire or pyro on it, or have something to do with synchro monsters.
Yeah, most of mine do. It's just I drew my two Shard Grids.
Yeah,
Well, I have
sure.
three, but look, okay, Flamvells need all the help they can get, alright? Like, they are severely outclassed by Lavals.
Oh, Dragoon is in this deck?
No, this
Who
is
knew?
Drag Gun.
No, that's if you got the G, it's Dragoon. There's an
No, the
umlaut
guy.
there.
No, see, the guy flying on him, he has a gun.
Dragon.
A gun. See,
Someday.
they trick you by making fly on a pterodactyl and thinking that's the danger, but then the guy just snipes you from 300 meters away.
Interesting. Apparently he snipes his own graveyard from 300 miles away.
I'm just gonna send all these handmaidens to the graveyard.
So now that you've built and are playing the Laval deck, Chili, what would you say is their gimmick? What's the play style for Lavals?
They want every single card in their deck in the graveyard.
Self-mill, all right. And then what can they do if that happens? What's the payoff for everything in the graveyard?
Stuff has effects sometimes based off how much stuff is in the graveyard. Honestly, this deck isn't super... Like, they have a bunch of cards that put stuff in the graveyard, and they have a few cards that say if you have X amount of names in the graveyard. And then they have some cards that say, oh, you can banish them from the graveyard for effects. So it's like, oh, maybe they're ammo. No, that's only some cards. Some cards are like, you need different names in the graveyard.
I'm familiar with some of these only because on the Master Duel solo mode, they make you play a Gem Knight Laval deck.
Oh, that was weird. That was weird. I was like, what am I supposed to do with this?
It's weird because, like, you know, the first couple times I dueled, I was like, it lets me send the Lavals to the graveyard so I don't have to draw them. But then I found that they gave you all the worst Gem Knight fusions, so it's not worth it. So the best thing you could do was actually make something like Laval Dragon or one of the Synchros. Basically, you just gotta hope you get the one guy on the field. Can I open? No, I can't from here. What's his name? Laval Archer, who's like the newest Laval, who's basically just like, if you normal summon this, you can normal summon another. It's a free Synchro. Go for it.
Yeah, he's admittedly a good card. And there's a couple other like okay cards in the archetype.
I'm not sure I'd call him good, but he allows you to Synchro summon, which is more than I could say for everything else in the deck.
Good is relative. He is a card that I looked at and was like, I'm playing you because you have effects that actually make sense.
And what about you, Wyncrer? What's the theme of Flamvells?
They're on fire. Yeah, that's about it.
They don't have any shared effect or anything?
To be honest, the only shared thing amongst them is they have 200 defense, and it's either you draw Rekindling or you lose. Because they're so terrible on their own.
It appears as though Chili's monsters all have 200 defense as well.
Yeah, I know.
Pioneers the fact that fire monsters have 200 defense. That's why Fire Dog is also a card I wish I had access to.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, hey, I did a thing. 200 defense. You can have it.
You're really missing it at the moment, aren't you? Yeah.
It would be better than what I'm doing now. However, I do understand that you are down bad.
I mean, he would be, except he's about to activate double Pot of Greed.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So here's the thing. When this was first suggested, I was like, ooh, I want to play Laval. Because I thought Laval was the Exceed deck. Because Laval has an Exceed.
They have one.
They have one. So I thought, okay, maybe they're just the Exceed deck. Because I don't know anything about Lavals. I've never played them.
They're not good.
No, they're not. They're not at all.
Oh, hey, the new card. Send one
I'm
fire
not going to use
from
the effect at all.
Target. Well, you can banish a card from your opponent's graveyard.
Look out.
I never liked this guy because he looks like he's about to fall over, right? Like, it's not just me. It's drawn with such weird perspective. He's like, ah.
He's JoJo posing. It's all right.
And let's see. For your 6 stars, you get a monster that does piercing and gains 300 attack every time it does battle damage.
Mm-hmm.
So is that a Flamvell thing, like gaining attack every time you battle?
No. There's no such thing as a Flamvell thing. They're just a bunch of fire monsters.
Fire monsters.
No synergy.
Banish a card from your opponent's graveyard, and if it is banished, while you control this monster, you could send a fire monster from your deck to the graveyard. So it looks like they also want to self-mill and also want to banish the opponents.
Yeah, that's all well and good. Like, on paper, that's what they want to do. But in practice, it doesn't work. It's like communism.
Controversial if true.
Flamvells are like communism. Hot take.
The names are unpronounceable. Good job reading theory. How would you... Well, I want to hear... Okay, Wyncrer, you're first. Name the Synchro you have on your field.
Uruquizus.
You just have all the answers, don't you? You're just being fancy.
To be fair,
I see how it is.
I spent about 15 to 20 seconds before you asked that question thinking, how do I pronounce this? So you just timed it really well.
Come on, Urukwazaz. So come on, Urukwazaz. Everybody to the limit. Everybody to the limit. Flamvell Urukwaz. Urukwazaz. It looks like something that someone just like slapped their hand on the keyboard.
It looks like, like a philosopher who would believe in communism. That would be their last name.
Just not get. Oh, what's going on here?
Fuck.
Laval X-Lord? That's
Yep.
fine, he's not a lord anymore, he's an X-Lord. Your opponent activates the effect of a monster, you can destroy that monster, and then inflict 1,000 damage.
This card is why I will lose.
Ah.
I can't beat excellent.
He's okay. He's actually pretty alright. He's obviously new, you can tell, because he has an okay effect, and he's also made of relatively generic materials. He's just like, there's got to be a fire monster
and
somewhere.
And 200 defense, because they were sure.
Yeah.
Although his attack went back down to 2,900, so if you could just summon a 3,000 attack Flamvell,
oh yeah,
fine.
definitely. That's really easy to do in this deck.
Just do it without activating any monster effects. You got 5 cards, you'll be fine. Do the Flamvells have new support too? I knew they got Fire Lady. Didn't they get a new Synchro?
They got.
No.
Oh, Chili, it sounds like you were about to say that they did.
For some reason, my brain was like, "Did you say?" I thought you said Laval. Like, yeah, they got X-Lord and they got Archer.
Nope.
Interesting.
That's it. That's all I do. I lose.
You just.
It's literally like you summon anything with more than you summon a Synchro monster against Flamvells and they lose. That's just it.
Well, we've got the best of 3,
Oh,
I'm really feeling confident. Let me tell you.
You just gotta believe. I mean, you're not gonna win with that attitude.
It's funny though, because when Chili messaged me, she's like, "You want to take which one do you want to take?" I was like, I don't mind," because I figured they were relatively similar. But then I looked into Flamvells and I went, "Oh no."
Yeah, I thought I didn't even look into them. I just assumed they were relatively similar. To me, I always forget that Lavals is an archetype, because I'm like, oh yeah, I know those, the flame Lavals. Like, to me, these are one archetype. I forgot that they even were 2 archetypes.
Well, this is a better hand, I won't lie.
What might have been a slightly better matchup would have been something like Jirak versus Lawful, because at least Jirak has plays.
Possibly.
Mate, I have plays this time, alright? I have a 4-card combo right now.
And you decided to go second.
Oh yeah. Because, I'm going to really, hit that OTK.
Let me see here.
See, I could either summon a Laval card, or I could summon a much better card.
I'm looking back at when I was talking to store brand Simon Belmont, who again was the patron who requested this. Mm-hmm. And apparently their original idea was Lavals versus Gusto. And I knew that Gusto had gotten new support, and even before the support, they had that 5-card FTK, which is not consistent in any way, but it is still an FTK, which is more than Lavals or Flamevells can do. So I was like, I don't think that would be fair. What about another fire archetype, like Flamvell? He's like, those are about equal, right? Fissure.
Yeah, Gusto would not have been fair for either of these decks. Gusto would have wiped the floor with them.
Correct.
Yeah, so I guess this is better than that, but...
Ultimate combo card, let's go.
Rekindling! Torrential Tribute.
I swear to God.
Rekindling for 2? Pitiful. You got soul charge there, buddy. Could have charged your entire soul.
You can make it 12. Onimar the Divine Thunder!
Ooh.
I'll just make 2 Urukwazaz. Build the overlay network?
Tempting. I only have a rank 4. That's it. I was like, I'm sticking solely to fire monsters or pyro.
Interesting. And there's no, like... What level tuner was this again?
2.
You're a little fire buddy.
Yeah. What is my rank 4? I remember adding it and then never
That was
reading it.
Neo Flamvell Origin. I'm surprised you didn't have like a level 8 Synchro. You could have made that in Fire Dog.
Oh, I do have one of those, but, I felt like being nice.
Ah, Molten Conduction Field.
AKA the best card in Lavas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just here. You want a Synchro summon? There you go.
I remember when I finally beat the Gem Knight Laval challenge. It was because I opened with 2 Molten Conduction Field, and I'm like, finally, I can get all the Lavals out of my deck. Now that I don't have those pesky cards standing in my way, I can actually do something. Or at least get rid of all the bad ones and just keep Archer and something else and, Synchro, and then maybe make a fusion, have some fun.
In my head, I pictured the Flamvell Archer. I'm like, why is that the good one?
Yeah.
Like, it's such a bad card.
I like that Volcano Handmaiden and Lakeside Levy are literally just the same card, but in different places.
Yeah, it's like she traveled.
Yeah. This is her. And, like, come on, where's the creativity? You look at Flamvells, and they've got, like, a spirit and, like, a volcano dog, and they're like, behold, the same lady, but standing by a lake now.
I mean, she's also the Flamvell lady. It's her as well, Neo Flamvell lady.
Okay, you ready for the best combo card in this deck?
Oh, Hedgehog.
Rekindling?
Rekindling. Again!
Again!
Trust me, I know. It's the best card in my deck, too.
You got a level 3 tuner. Can you make a level 9?
I can.
Or a 7?
We can push for Star Eater. It can happen. It's not going to, but it could.
Star Eater's not fire.
He's on fire. He's literally a star. Star is like the most fire you can be at once.
Stars are made of plasma. They are not fire. What is this, caveman times? Get out of here.
I'm pretty sure stars are fire.
Black Rose Dragon.
Now blow up the entire board.
No, I was tempted, but that's alright.
It's like, haven't
And
you
now
ever heard?
for my ultimate boss monster.
Hell yeah,
For
Dragon
me
Mech.
and Dragon Mech. Finally, I can get rid of all those Flamvell tuners to pop cards.
No, my burgeoning Whirlflame.
But a trap card is activated. Oh boy, glad I don't have those.
Well, you know what you could side into. Have a dang old time.
That's me to change.
Alright, so it looks like, the Flamvells are good as long as you draw 2 Rekindlings. That's all you gotta do.
And your opponent can't do anything.
And you got Laval
Go,
Miller. Go, Miller. Mill a couple cards before Chili dies. Is there anything you could send to the graveyard that's like a battle fader in the graveyard?
Nah.
So I started blasting.
Yeah, I can add Whirlflame back to my hand.
Oh, look out.
Just send the Millers out.
Look out. Your trap's days are numbered.
Honestly, this DVC should just be called Rekindling. Just Rekindling.
The only good card in the deck.
This time on the deck build challenge, we've rekindled our love for old fire archetypes out of Duel Terminal.
I mean, I still love Jurak. Can I play Jurak instead?
I mean, I guess that's a fire archetype.
From Duel Terminal.
Yeah.
They were the first one, actually. I think. Might be wrong.
I hope I don't know. Part of me hopes we'll get the Duel Terminal storyline in the Master Duel.
I mean, yeah,
but part of me is like, I don't want to play Ally of Justice decks, man.
Oh, no.
Please don't.
You have part of it with the Gem Knights and the Lavals.
Yeah. It's weird that they just did a part of it. And then I like how some of the lore there is just like, Hey, did you know that the Dino Mists are dinosaurs that are robots and they're powered by
Yeah.
steam? Check
Yeah.
it out.
I was
Check
like,
this
wow,
out.
they put no effort into that, huh?
Yeah.
It's like they did all these cool graphics and nice background stuff like that.
And there's
But
just
then it's
no
like
story.
there's no story, there's no writer for this. It's literally just here's what the cards look like.
And then the other ones are split between I liked the Megalith one because I never noticed before that Bethor was actually the demon coming out of the underside of the demon statue, and that they were both two halves of the same coin.
Yep.
It's like, oh, that's kind of neat. It shows the lore, it shows how they're related. I mean, there's not really a story there, it just shows kind of how they fit together. Or the Karakuri where they're talking about oh yeah, they're running on gears. They're gear-driven robots. That's why they have to attack. They just keep running forward until they run into something.
I was a big fan of the Yugioh one.
That's what I was gonna say. And then you get to Gear and it's like,
right.
come on, man, you're just making shit up. You're gonna tell me what card art featured Dr. Gearick before this?
Yeah.
None of them do. None of them have since.
It's like this. You just drew new images, and you're like, ah, yes, the Geargias. They're actually Power Rangers who fight against evil gears. I'm like, what? What evil gears? There's no cards depicting evil gears.
I mean, the ancient gears might be.
They're setting up for future support. All right.
I guess so. Shit.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just going to special 4 real quick for no cost.
Nice.
Rekindling, man.
Good old Rekindling. 10,000. Man, this really turned around.
Yeah, because of Rekindling. That's
I'm
it.
sorry, people who might have wanted to see Laval do stuff, but I poured over this. I couldn't really figure out how to get them to do much.
There has to be another Flamvell synchro other than Urukwazaz.
There is one.
Then make it.
Okay.
You must.
It requires me using Urukwazaz though.
Ancient
Flamvell
Flamvell deity.
And a non-tuner pie. Wow, they wanted to make that really specific.
Yep.
Remove cards from their graveyard up to the number in their hand.
It is the perfect anti-this deck though.
Yeah, I guess if your thing is going in the graveyard and Flamvell's is banishing from the graveyard. Not that these were doing a lot in your graveyard, right?
Not really. I can summon them with
Rekindling.
Rekindling, yeah.
If I had any.
Here's the best card in the deck.
Oh,
What?
Cataclysmic Scorching Sunburner. You should have put on your desserts. Or you should have put on some sunscreen.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't help me.
I didn't think about this card.
He's pretty cool. These old ones are really good in formats like Chaos Draft, especially the first 10 episodes. If you can get 2 or 3 of those and then a bunch of cards of the same archetype, you're golden, baby.
Well, that's what happened at the start of the current one with you and MPT, I believe. Or was it you and MPT? Yeah, MPT. Or was it with you and Dual Logs? I can't remember.
It was Dual Logs. I had the Earth one.
That's right. Yeah, it was Dual Logs.
Behold, a
What
kite.
is this?
It's the only level 4 fire tuner that isn't in your archetype.
And it has 200 defense, so God help you if he gets Rekindling.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
There are technically other level 4 fire tuners, but this is the only other one that has 200 defense besides Flamvell Magician,
Oh, hey.
who is an Ally of Justice support card.
Yeah. Flamvell Magician is one of the worst cards ever printed.
But my lore, though. What about my lore?
Take 500. Leave me in peace.
You can summon a fire monster from your deck. Doesn't matter what position or anything. Take 500. Gain 3,100. Oh, it misses the timing.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. It's a
Um,
when effect.
When you can. I don't think that's why it missed. I think it was something to do with the damage step.
Maybe, whatever. You get one
last
turn,
thing-
Chili.
The last thing to happen was me burning. That's actually it.
Yeah.
Ah, I see.
You get one turn, motherfucker.
A hush falls over the crowd. Does Chili
Thinking.
have what it takes to be Chili?
Did you
No.
draw Rekindling, basically?
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
in retrospect, having you here was probably the worst choice.
Why?
No one else is volunteering.
I'm hearing a bunch of what sounds like cows in the background.
Oh, no, those are crows. Or birds. I have a tree outside my room.
And they're watching the duel with enthusiasm.
Oh, so much enthusiasm. It's definitely not, Mum, feed me, I'm hungry.
Ah, I see.
Actually, where are they?
You
In
did
the
some
tree.
damage.
Yeah, it's kookaburras, actually. Not just bird.
Specifically Australian birds.
Specifically Australia bird.
You just gotta show off, don't you?
Not the particularly
yeah.
aggressive seagulls.
Fissure. Do you have a third one? No.
No.
That's
Well,
just
Rekindling
rude.
one.
Yeah. Whoever draws Rekindling, it's one of those things where like normally we'd go into a third duel. I don't know. I'm not sure what we would take out of your deck. Like if we remove Rekindling, you're stuck on normal summon pass.
What if we
If we
both?
move Rekindling, I lose. Like, it's
Yeah.
guaranteed.
What if neither of us have it?
I mean, you didn't need
Laval
it to
can
summon
actually
your
do
like
stuff.
level 9 monster that could destroy and burn. I'm curious. Were there any other? What were you playing again? Lavels. Why can't I remember that name? Were there any other Lavels in the extra deck that were like neat and you didn't get to summon them?
There's Salamander, which is new, who when you synchro summon, you draw 2 cards, and then if you have a fire in your hand, you send 2 cards to your grave. You just send 2 of them you send 2 cards, including a fire, to the graveyard. So you don't actually go plus at all.
Draw
Or-
2, discard 2.
But if you don't have a fire monster, you show your opponent your hand and shuffle all of it into the deck.
Oh boy!
So you have no cards.
So they gave them a new monster that's essentially Allure of Flames. Allure of Darkness, but with fundamental differences.
Once per
Allure of
turn, you can
Flames,
banish
isn't
a
that Dark
fire
Souls lore?
monster. Once per turn, you can banish a fire monster from your graveyard. Change face-up monster your opponent controls up to the number of lava monsters you control to face-down defense position. So
look out.
it's bad. It looks absolutely amazing.
Ah.
Put it up on the screen, Joe. Show everyone Lava Salamander.
Oh, you're gonna make me do work?
Yeah,
Wyncker's not
It
editing
is-
this.
yeah.
It
That's
is
why
a
I'm
really
making you
good
do it.
looking card.
Wyncrer, how much to edit this?
I don't know.
Twice his normal rate.
Twice the normal rate. You've already got to
And
get the DBC.
Going
Yeah,
back.
so I guess we'll just call it here because there's not a whole lot that we didn't see that we wouldn't see anyway. They're both pretty simple decks, and you obviously saw how Rekindling can just like make her. It's whoever draws Rekindling wins.
Yeah. You saw more of Flamvells than I ever expected to play. Like,
You summoned both of the synchros.
I know. Oh, look out. Flamvell
Yeah.
deity actually did something. Holy shit.
I guess there is also there was one card in your graveyard that you never activated. I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but one of them you could banish itself and another Laval to destroy a face down card.
Yeah, that's
Boy.
Neo Lady.
Yeah. So you get a dang old MST or a shield breaker if you use it on a face down monster.
Jesus. That's some meta level shit
It's
right
bad,
there.
and I would rather just have the lavels in my grave
Yeah.
as fuel for rekindling if I were to draw it, or some of the cards that need me to have lava monsters in my graveyard, like Laval Burner, which is Cyber Dragon. As long as you have 3 lavels in the graveyard with different names.
You sound kind of
Ironically, I
confused.
played-
Like, it's Cyber Dragon? Maybe?
Cyber Dragon?
It's,
Ironically, I played Shard of Greed to try and draw into Rekindling, but the one time I managed to get both Shard of Greeds to go off, I didn't draw Rekindling.
You got 2 the first time and another one this time.
Mhm.
Yep, these dang old fire decks. They're a little crazy. We gotten? I mean, I guess we got Fire Fist. Those are a good fire archetype. They're pretty strong.
Those are alright. Yeah.
sure there are other
No one
ones.
said.
Infernoble.
Yeah, kind of.
You know, they tore up the meta for a few months.
I'm
They're
sorry,
not
can you
really
guys hear the police sirens or not?
No.
The Razzies are not
it's just
after
a lot
us.
of noise outside at the moment.
Either way, it's been a fun
Either way.
time. Thank you again to Store Brand, Simon Belmont for doing this. Did you have any last words, Chili?
No, I think I'll just leave it at that.
Oh, okay. And how about you, Wyncrer?
Well, I mean, I think I've said it all already. To be honest, I didn't even expect to summon a Synchro. I thought I'd just get curb stomped, but here we are.
I'm just surprised we made it all the way this long and no one has said flame on yet, like the Human Torch.
We have class, Joe.
I guess the Fantastic Four is just not very popular these days. Oh well.
It's terrible, honestly.
Anyway, until next time, good luck!
Have fun, everybody.